Okay.
She's listening to Porter Robinson.
Porter Robinson.
Okay, no, these two have not played each other
They
yet.
have not faced one another. So we've got a fresh matchup.
At least for tonight. These two certainly have some experience playing against each other.
Millia Rage versus A.B.A. Another one of those, one of these characters gets to teleport around the screen like a Dragon Ball character and do 9-way mix-ups. But the other one has 10 million
And then the other
health.
one is Millia.
But the other one has 10 million health and does 10 million damage, and also when they're in rage mode,
look at that insane damage.
That's what I'm saying. It's another one of those risk-reward type matchups, which Millia and Chip and Bridget, all three of them kind of really have that.
Certainly a lot of reward for Un as she gets a perfect round out the gate.
And
let's go WiseMysticTree.
I feel like the path for Un, obviously she can't just go all out offense all of the time against Millia, but I feel like the path for Un, given what A.B.A generates rage gauge off of and just the play style Un seems to have as a player, is probably going to be to try and force Millia to block, build up some rage gauge, and then build an insurmountable. Deal just an amount of damage that Millia can't come back from while she's in Jealous Rage.
Really love seeing where WiseMysticTree is starting his offense, really picking his shots at when he goes in and what he does here. Ooh, but getting thrown into the corner. Things looking dire for him.
Things do look dire for Millia here.
Tap dust to open her up.
The tap dust does hit, but doesn't lead to anything because no ability to RC it. That will kill, though.
Game one goes to Un.
That, I mean, patience there can be a good answer to if Un wants to try to be aggressive when she's not in Jealous Rage, because she's not that fast. It doesn't have that much mix in Jealous Rage. The last thing you want to do is take unnecessary risks there, right? And obviously, if you're Un, you still don't want to play slow against Millia, because then that lets Millia do what she'd rather be doing, which is instant transitioning around the screen, jumping 10 million times, and mixing you up.
This is looking like it makes sense that this is the way that A.B.A is supposed to play, where outside of JR, in neutral, she really struggles against Millia, who's just hopping all over the place. But once she gets a touch, that is a massive amount of damage once again.
That's what I'm saying.
WiseMysticTree living on a prayer here, getting smacked out of the sky. First round of game two, once again, goes to Un. Oh, very patient round start.
Playing patient.
Yeah. Looks like WiseMysticTree was looking to bait something out.
WiseMysticTree has been dealing out some whiff punishes here. I think the initial idea for Un might have been to use like the big key buttons to control some space, kind of like Bridget does in this matchup. But WiseMysticTree was playing patient, kind of whiff punishing things there. So Un making the adjustment.
Very nice offensive choices there. Calling his shots. But she is in JR now.
The Jealous Rage is here, but, I mean, the benefit of Millia's mix-up-based offense is that it can force you to block.
And the super, it'll kill!
For a while. In this case, just killed, but that can bleed meter, right? If you have to block multiple 4-way mix-ups, and, Leo is the only one with a side-ambiguous invincible reversal, so. Just clipped by that gold.
Walking away with a
gold
meter,
burst.
There you go.
And now WiseMysticTree, well, he spent 15 immediately, but he was working with $100.
Oh my god. Nice sweep. Aggressive neutral from WiseMysticTree.
That's exactly what you expect, right? It's kind of, I feel like it's kind of between a rock and a hard place here if you're A.B.A. You can either sit still and die, or you can press buttons and maybe also die.
I just realized I said aggressive neutral. Let's all agree to ignore that. How stupid that was. There we go.
Neutral can be oppressive.
Way to open up Un with the low. And getting the kill.
With the super, I think that will kill.
Yep. There we go. One game apiece.
It's been
on the way
a very impressive series of games from WiseMysticTree. These last like 4 or 5 sets at this point. I can't speak to their game against Sanity because I didn't see that, but everything after that has been dangerous. And we're seeing that trade-off we were all told A.B.A has to make, where A.B.A struggles in neutral now. But we're also seeing what she gets for it, which is insane damage.
Oh boy. Firm and a key grab. See how tight that defense is. Oh, getting the wall splat.
Not tight enough. And now we're in that. Oh my god. I don't think I've ever seen anybody block the TK TK bad move before. Like legitimately at all.
Bad Moon very unsafe on block too.
That is true. That is the trade-off. Good block on that H disc too. Showing that you don't get to be reigning Columbus Strive champion on your offense alone. And now, as soon as she has time to set up, like right now, we're looking at a full rage gauge. And what do you do in this situation if you are Millia?
All that FDing from WiseMysticTree for not. But getting a gold burst, getting some meter.
You start jumping around and praying because it resets to neutral. But, you know, Oon now dealing with $100.
A way to block out the super. Good stuff, WiseMysticTree.
And all of a sudden, this round is a lot closer than it was quite recently. A little bit of chip damage there, a little bit of rage gauge. It is true that anytime Millia is blocking, Millia is not, you know, using herself as like a projectile and a mix-up in neutral. But it is also true that if WiseMysticTree gets it all wide, no pun intended to what you're doing. You're
unfortunate. Oh, using the burst, staying in it.
Saves WiseMysticTree. And once again, just bleeding A.B.A out of the rage gauge resource and managing to close out the game.
What a close round. Oh my god. Oon looking at the clock like, come on, dog, I want to go home.
I'm trying to go to bed.
I am sleepy.
I am trying to go to bed. Well, right now, I think, you know, I mean, obviously Oon is at a disadvantage in neutral, and I think that she's just not winning neutral enough in these rounds that she's losing. She's kind of got to place some bets, maybe get a little bit lucky, and when she's losing rounds, it's just not enough.
That super is such an interesting full screen punish and a kind of a set play tool, just expecting people to drop into it.
A little bit.
I like seeing all the ways that Oon is using it. It's a great effect against WiseMysticTree. This is a potential game point for her. Hop kicks, getting smacked out with the fast Millia buttons. There we go, nice use of 6P.
And just consistently applying pressure to A.B.A so that she can't build resources.
Rare
and so
whip
that
punish.
Instead of being able to build like a life lead, now she has to try to mount a comeback with raw damage. Full burst on deck for WiseMysticTree as well. Good block on that burst. I actually think, amend my previous statement, but I don't think necessarily neutral is so much a thing as WiseMysticTree being able to slip out of offense. And a lot of that is to do with how much rage gauge Oon is able to build up when she begins offense. It's also a lot to do with you know, YRCs and bursts.
WiseMysticTree, how bad do you want this reset, bro? It's gonna fight for it.
You're gonna have to fight for it. You're gonna have to want it. Now the good news is that A.B.A is still nowhere near jealously raging.
Trying to find a poke though to open it up, and it's not working.
But Oon is aware that she has a lot more, you know, sidewalk, I don't know, space to work with.
Oh, folks, this could be it. She has entered JR. Oh, but WiseMysticTree get the throw, get the disco key.
And that's what I'm saying about, you know, the rounds where WiseMysticTree has won. Even ones where he's mounted comebacks have been ones where they're able to find a defensive option that gets them out of pressure altogether or just eats a lot of time.
The amount of work going into this damage, WiseMysticTree getting the throw, getting the knockdown.
The defense from Oon has been really good.
Squeezing out another one round.
Again,
it though.
Just slipped out of neutral. Like a freaking Looney Tunes character, just thread the needle of the pressure with that back throw.
Oon can tend to sit there. You have to approach me. You can't sit full screen either.
And especially not when Oon has a life lead, which he has developed again. And now we're looking at a full bar of Jealous Rage. We are looking at a massive life lead for Oon. We are not looking at meter or burst now for either person, but one touch.
Oh my god.
Okay,
how long can WiseMysticTree stay alive to possibly mount a comeback?
Wise, it's going to take
Keep
a
that
lot.
pressure on.
That was some pretty good damage, but it's WiseMysticTree is going to have to open Un up. And really, I think WiseMysticTree is
we're
going
waiting.
to win.
She's waiting it out. She's like, remember, you must approach me to win.
Yeah.
You want to time this round out?
WiseMysticTree is down.
And that's it.
I really think WiseMysticTree needed to keep the like, he was in advantage. I really think he needed to keep the pressure going. I think resetting to neutral just introduced too many factors he couldn't control, too much guesswork. The only way I think that he was going to bring that back was, you know, with the Millia mix and managing to open Un up and hopefully getting like a wall break into a hard knockdown to be able to loop pressure. Because resetting to neutral, I think, really was Un's win condition there.